bottom corner.
What is penalty? Oh no, another penalty against Ferenc.
Do you want him to miss the penalties? Would you prefer he missed them?
Look at this. Look at the state
Watch this, right?
Look at the state of this.
Squares up his...
How the f*** does he do this in the Premier League?
To be fair, that was...
The defender's got nowhere near.
Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe, that is Adam, that is Jay, and this is Off the Bar. And today we are making our ideal dream starting 11 for Manchester United next season. We're going through each position, who should be there, whether it's someone from the current squad, whether it's a transfer that we need. We're going to come together, we're going to shout it out, and we're going to decide Manchester United's dream 11 for next season.
Can we do imaginary
Simple.
players?
You can't do imaginary players, but you can do
past players.
We can't do past players. Imagine that. How good it'd be. Irwin, in, etc. I could go on. How are you, Jay?
I'm good. I just want to get the rules to this.
Right.
I'm confused. No, don't like.
People at home might be confused if you're confused.
So are we between the three of us all agreeing on each position?
I think.
Is there a voting system? Is there how does it work? Is there someone adjudicating?
Come up with our own 11s together.
Okay.
So we might have to have a bit of an argument, we might have to go back and forth, we might have to go, actually, you know what, I can see why you've done that, but we have to decide.
And are we playing a 3-4-2-1 formation?
We're going to be playing a 3-4-2-1 formation.
There you go, that's all I needed to know.
I might
Thank you.
3-4-3 me.
What if he does a different formation than the rest of us?
Well, no, first of all, let's vote on the formation then. All in favour of 3-4-2-1, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Right.
Goalkeeper. You have that in a 3-4-2-1, don't you?
You do.
Cool.
1-3-4-2-1.
Unless you're Todd Burley. Remember when what was it he had? He had a 4-4-3.
4-4-4. Let's start with goalkeeper then.
Right.
Obviously, Onana is our current keeper.
Yes.
Do we need a new one? That's the first question. And then we can decide whether who it's going to be. Adam, what do you reckon?
We need a new one. It's probably not the first thing that you address, but we do need a new goalkeeper. My head's gone with Onana.
That's it.
Sounds to say that.
Is it ever coming back, do you think?
Well, I mean, I'd be happy for him to prove me wrong. I don't dislike him. I like his character, and I like the way he kind of is, because he always seems confident. I feel like he's got the right temperament to play for Man United, and he kind of brushes mistakes away. But I do think he's always got them in him. And I know a lot of people didn't, but I kind of blame him for the goal in Bilbao.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I don't blame him for that, but
I feel like it was a comedy of errors, and I think he was slightly involved in those errors.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him. I think was it Luke Shaw and whoever else was there?
Yeah, everyone else had equal blame, but he was.
I think it was just a bit of a mix-up that no one actually covered themselves in glory with. But I wasn't when that goal when me and him were together in Bilbao, and he was like, "Oh, Nana," and I was just like, "United." Shambles. I like Bayern Day as a person. Obviously, I know I always do everyone's head in when I say this.
Why do you like him as a person? Because he was nice to you.
Lovely to me kids. He was just a nice guy. What are you making it all weird for? Like,
he's nice to me and me kids.
Yeah, I know everyone gets fed up when I say
Grow
this.
up.
But as a goalkeeper, he's been a bit of a disaster. He really has. And like every time he plays, there's a big mistake. Even against Villa, he was lucky, really, wasn't he, that goal got disallowed. Because it was his fault.
Could have gone either way.
Yeah,
couldn't it?
so you can't let it. I think the most reliable goalkeeper we've got is actually Tom Heaton. I just don't know if he's at a level you can rely on him every week.
No.
To play in the Premier League. So I think I'd stick with Onana.
Would you?
I think we'll end up sticking with Onana as well. I think he'll get to the back end of the window, and it'll be like, if we've got funds available, or if someone comes in for him for 30-40 million, but I can't really see that happening.
No. Well, let's have a look at some options that we could bring in. Obviously, Emi Martinez is an easy one to talk about because we've all seen him play quite a bit. He is linked with a move, and there has been some genuine links. No one's who's that? Who is it? What we've spoken about obviously on the channel before. I wouldn't swap Martinez for Onana.
I wouldn't,
especially if it's going to cost us 20 to 30 million quid. I don't see the point in doing that.
It's one error-prone, slightly erratic goalkeeper, or very erratic goalkeeper for another one. Now,
I do think he's better than Onana.
I think he probably is, but it's still. It's not enough of a step forward to make that change for me.
No. That's
the issue I've got. I think changing goalkeeper is huge, and I still think there'd be issues, and you might end up going, that was just a waste of 20 million quid.
Yeah.
Also, I think he's living off the World Cup a little bit. Look at the game at Old Trafford. Sent off.
The one thing he should have done is
Villa get Champions League football if he doesn't get sent off.
And all he's got to do is just stay on his line or not foul Rasmus Højlund.
Well,
even if Rasmus Højlund just scores, it's not the end of the world.
One goal, being 10 men down is worse than conceding one goal.
Well, there's a good argument there as well. So it was just fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think you trade off to certain things with Martinez. I know people don't want to say anything good about Onana. He is better with the ball at his feet than Martinez. But
we don't see it.
No,
we never see it. You know, I hate that whole. We brought him to the club and we've never used him as that goalkeeper. Most of his passes are long.
No, I do
throw.
think the way we play could emphasise it more. But I think his like little clips to the fullbacks and stuff, I know they're not difficult, constant, midfielder type passes like some keepers do, but he is better at that than De Gea was, for instance, and I do think than Martinez is. And he's more comfortable with the ball in his own 6-yard box. But Martinez is much better controlling his box, claiming the ball from corners, set pieces, etc. So what do you want?
Martinez could be a good option though.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure, and I wouldn't be heartbroken if he didn't join the club, and I don't really like the idea of him joining. But at the same time, and again, he's half the goalkeeper he was. But we signed Van der Sar quite late as well.
Yeah.
That worked out quite well. Martinez hasn't played for as big a club as Man United, so it'd be a challenge for him. He's a guy that's going to want to win things at a club level as well. Did he maybe win the FA Cup at Arsenal?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe, but I'm not too sure. But he'll want to win things at club level as well.
Yeah.
So he will come motivated. And I think if we did sign him, we'd be in a better place than we would be if we had an iron goal. But I just feel like surely there's better options out there.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of like with Watkins, isn't it?
Do you know what?
He's better than Højlund,
obviously. Yeah, I think the problem with Martinez is I think that all this sort of like, kind of likable, semi-juvenile, humping the World Cup stuff, and like his personality is built around being a little bit naff. I think it comes across as like bolshy and funny, but I think he's a bit naff. When he comes to United, all of a sudden, cringe this, cringe that, look at the state of him, childish, don't get it, no wonder he's never won anything, look how he acts. Like, I think all of that stuff that at the minute people think is a little bit charming and a bit cute becomes like, you're a 35-year-old man, grow up. Do you know what I mean? And I think the narrative around him changes instantly, and we've got to sit here defending why our goalkeeper's like shagging his own little gloves or something. You know what I mean? I just think, come off him, mate. Just be normal. I don't mind him, but I for me don't think that he's worth what we'd have to pay to get him. Another 30 million that could be spent elsewhere. I'd stick with Onana if they're the only options. I know they're not, but I would go with Onana.
Almost convincing myself that we should give Tom Heaton a go,
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Tom Heat won.
Yeah, you were on that a couple of years ago, yeah.
What, 4 years ago? It'll be only 4 years late that he will be United's number
No,
one.
I'll stick with Onana.
There's obviously other options. People mentioned Jan Oblak, Ter Stegen's
They love
been mentioned.
mentioning him.
Chevalier
Jan
has been
Oblak
mentioned. We
how
spoke
old
about
is
him
he?
the other week.
36,
Is he really available for 17 million? Who's wrote this down?
He is getting on a bit, isn't it? Is he 36, Jan Oblak?
I don't mind an old goalkeeper.
No, I don't.
I don't mind an old goalkeeper.
So what we're saying then? Is it?
But half of these people on this list, I haven't got a clue who they are.
Well,
How old's Jan Oblak?
You can pick someone you want. Doesn't have to be someone on that list.
Do you know what?
He's 32? That's not too bad then. I
Just
thought
Harry
he was
moving
older
in
than
slow
that.
motion there.
I know, yeah. Don't rush. You went to do it and just stopped. I'll look. Oh no, I won't.
32. So he's not old. But I tell you what though, the era of 40-year-old keepers it's not as prominent as it used to be. Do you know, like every other team used to have a keeper in their mid to late 30s? They don't anymore. It's only the legendary keepers like Neuers and Buffons and that actually stay at the top level till the late 30s. I think that whole Van der Sar thing, it doesn't. Can we?
Van der Sar's just a complete outlier
late 30s?
in so many ways.
Yeah. But keepers used to be playing to the 40s.
No, I mean,
I
I hear you. But like Mac was saying, we got Van der Sar from Fulham, which is just, how did that happen?
£1 million as well.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. 35, and he goes on to break all the records.
Park G was 4 mil.
Yeah.
Van der Sar was like 2. I think with Carrick, Van der Sar, Park, we got him for like 22 mil combined.
Fantastic.
I remember people moaning about the 16 million quid we spent on Michael Carrick.
That was probably the equivalent of about 40 now, though.
I know, but still.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
Yeah, people are losing their mind or whatever.
Right.
I was like, really?
We're going to be here all day. Are we locking in Onana, or are we picking someone else to bring in?
I wouldn't lock it in, I'd just put him in.
Okay.
Pencil
Put him in, but leave the door open.
Pencil him in there.
Okay, so there we go. Right, so on to centre-backs. We need 3 of them. It's an area where we actually have a decent bit of talent and some good age profiles as well. We've got a couple of teenagers, Heaven and Yoro, obviously fantastic. You've got that sort of middle ground a little bit more. Delict, Martinez, mid-20s. Then you've got the older guys. You've got Harry Maguire, etc. Do you think we're fully stocked in that area? And if so, who's starting? Or do we need to bring someone in? Jay?
I think we're probably just about okay if we don't have drastic injuries like we've had the last couple of seasons. That's a big if. But for me, I think it's pretty open and shut.
Go on.
I think it's Delict, Martinez and Euro.
Say that again. Delict who? Sorry.
Martinez and Euro.
Yeah, agreed.
I do.
Okay,
I just think if they're fit, that's your back three.
Well, let's say
I think
start of the
everyone
season
else-
then, because obviously Martinez is going to be out.
Martinez, I'd swap Heaven for Martinez. I think that's a decent swap.
You play over Maguire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
I would. I think
I'd
Heaven's
consider
mint.
taking some money for Maguire if some came about.
Okay.
I'd have Maguire. I'm the only difference I have with Maguire. I'd probably keep Maguire in the squad, but I think Heaven, Delict and Euro works.
By the way, I'm not against keeping Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
I think as a squad player, he's obviously useful. He's always willing to like fight for his spot and all those kind of things. And some of when you consider the situation he was in, it's been quite admirable what he's done. But I do think the goal against Leon did some heavy lifting for him last season. Like I don't think he was that good as people went on last season. I just think he had some great moments. And defensively we can improve on him, but it's like one of them ones. If you can get Delit, Heaven and Euro in, and then you've got like Martinez coming back, Mazraoui can play there.
Love Mazraoui.
Aiden Heaven can play there. I would consider selling Maguire and buying someone else.
Okay. Is there anyone you like?
But it's not urgent. Do I like anyone? Not really.
What about you?
I think to start the season,
You've been Harry Maguire's biggest fan.
No, yeah, to start the season, I'd go Maguire. Go Delict on the right, Maguire in the middle, and then Euro on the left.
Okay.
I think Heaven is that kind of first man off the bench, or play him in the cup, or even just rotate him in and out. We've had loads of injuries, haven't we? It'd be interesting to see how Delict and Maguire do together in that. Because toward the end of the season, because Delict was injured for a good chunk of it, you saw Maguire often with some slightly faster, slightly more athletic, or not even just more athletic, but just better runners.
If I remember correctly,
than Delict.
I might be wrong, but I feel like it was either Maguire or Delict as the middle man.
That's what I'm saying.
And if he could pick either of them,
he'd go Delict.
He'd go Delict.
My only worry as well is though, I know Martinez. I think he slots back in. I feel it's a lot to ask of Heaven. I know he's been good and really good actually, but like you're starting next season where if Martinez is injured, where Heaven and Euro, two of your centre backs are teenagers. One of them, obviously he's played 2 full seasons at the top level now. That's a bit different. But Heaven's literally played like 6-7 games for us. I do worry that we're going into a season with him there, and if he doesn't play, then you've got that Maguire Delict sort of double team where you think, are either of them?
He has looked good though. He's never looked out of place when he's played.
No, he hasn't.
I also like the look
him.
of Fredrickson. I wouldn't mind seeing some more of him in like the League Cup and stuff this season.
Okay. So are we saying we've all agreed on Euro? There's no questions there.
Euro Delict.
Martinez, yeah.
Okay, so we're assuming everyone.
I think Martinez
ain't going to be fit.
Was a massive loss when he got injured because he not scoring goals for starters, which we missed, but also carrying the ball out of defence.
Yeah.
And he's the one that can make your goalkeeper look a little bit better than what he is with his distribution as well. Okay. You can give it to Martinez when he's got like 2 attackers around him and he'll get himself out of trouble.
So we say Martinez on the left, Delict in the middle, Euro on the right.
I think that's mint. That.
Okay.
I know they're not.
I think that's
let's go with that.
I also
Let's
think
lock
Lenny
that in.
Euro's so good.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Euro's fantastic. I don't even question him.
No.
Which is mad to say as a teenager that, just came in a season where we were terrible, but I have no doubts about Lenny Euro whatsoever.
No, really good.
On to wing backs then. That's the next sort of segment. We've already bought one of the few signings under Ruben Amorim is actually a wing back, so it's an area that we aren't desperate for necessarily. Should we just go with Dorgo on the left? Do we have any raise on that? Do we need to make a big discussion about it? I want to see him in his second season.
I think he did all right in his first season, and I'd like to see him being given a chance this season. And I don't worry about Dorgo. I think he'll be all right.
I think Dorgu was good. I think he was more good than bad.
Yeah.
And I think he showed a lot of signs. There's plenty more to come. But I do think Delo would be the first choice at the start of the season and let the others earn their spot. Because I think you can play Mazraoui on the right.
Amad
Diallo, I think, might be playing on the right. So I'd go Delo.
On the left?
Yeah.
Really?
Plays there, innit?
Well, you're playing Delo on the left?
He plays on the right, doesn't
over Dorgu?
No, I'm not on that one.
No, I'm not either. I'm Dorgu.
Dorgu and left all the way.
I like Dorgu. I think.
All right, I'll shut the fuck up.
That Maguire was outvoted. I think with Dorgu, it's almost quite good because it's quite clear what he's very good at and what he's maybe not so good at.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, when you think of defensively, can't even picture a time where he sort of gets skinned or someone knocks it past him and beats him the other side. It doesn't really happen.
He's one of our best performers I know we were short on them, but he was quite good in the cup final as well, I thought.
Yeah, he can do.
Where does Diego Leon play left back?
Yeah.
Left back, yeah.
Because he is that quote of his true?
I don't know. It looks true.
Kick it, like up for it.
Fuck these, I'm starting.
Yeah, like...
People think I'm going to go on loan. I see it differently.
No, I think it is. I mean, we haven't seen him yet,
If that's true, he's starting.
I love that.
Just because he
said some stuff we like, yeah.
That's why everyone loved McTominay.
Yeah, but we sold him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I just think Dorgu, I like him. And the final third, inside the 18-yard box, maybe a bit more finesse will come with experience.
I think his physical levels are good as well.
His physical levels are fantastic. And he just, he's another one, like, when you never watch him and go, oh God, he's slowed down because he looks tired. He just is up and down all the time, doing what he needs to defensively, never getting skinned. Physically, he don't get pushed out of the way, and maybe he could be a bit cuter in the final third. But I think for, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, who hadn't played that much top-flight football, I'm more than happy with that as a centre.
No, I felt a little bit sorry for him last season because it's difficult coming into this Manchester United side. You're coming in from a club like Lecce where it's just a massive step up. I know United are struggling, but it was still a huge club.
Yeah.
And then you've got things like, there was all that stuff where Garnacho wouldn't pass to him when he was on and things like that. And then the mix-up with Onana, which, whoever you blame me, it's not ideal, is it?
No.
In one of your first games at Old Trafford. Playing on the right, then on the left, like he was moved about a little bit as well. Constant merry-go-round of defenders alongside him. So it wasn't easy, and I think he did quite well. So, yeah, for me, Dorgu on the left.
Let's do it wing-backs and then go to the middle, because I think there's a good conversation to be had there. So Dorgu on the left, locked in. Who are we going on the right? Because obviously we've got to think ahead a little bit. The options are Mazraoui, Ahmad, Dallo, pretty much. What we're thinking. Or new transfer.
Ahmad.
I'm with him, Ahmad, because I'm going to not have Ahmad as a number 10. So I want him in the team. And I think as a wing-back...
Played well there last year.
He did play well. I don't know if you remember, because I think you'd had a few, but that game when me and you were sat behind the dugout...
I love that.
No, I'm not being horrible. You're funny. But
Anthony did it right.
Amarim was constantly on Ahmad. Constantly. Not in a negative light, but it seemed like he wanted to focus on him. We saw it against Everton, where he was picking the pockets of the attackers. He's got quality, he can get forward. I think he can get stuck in as well. So I don't mind Ahmad as a wing back. I think it works.
Yeah. Just not to sort of be at risk of bringing up old ground. Do you have any concern about Ahmad? Not as a player, but like we've bought two players, or certainly one player, in his position, looking like Mbumo and Cunha, who didn't take up those positions. Even when he was fit, he wasn't usually first choice as a wing back. And not, again, that might change now. We've got different players in front of him, etc. But there isn't an obvious, definite starting position for him in the team anymore. And we've actively bought players in his position. Is that a concern for you? Do you worry about his future at all? Yeah.
Yeah.
For one, and two, I have no doubts in his character and his personality where he will make sure he's starting.
Yeah,
he's already done it.
Yeah. I think actually he might end up staying at wing back. It was just the fact that how effective he was. One of the few players, if not the only player, who was consistent in attack.
Yeah.
Because Garnacho fell off a cliff, Højlund fell off a cliff, Xerxes was great but didn't get any goals. So you have to have someone who can get you goals, and he was the only one in our attack who you can kind of rely on.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget, as a squad, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, and Antony ain't going to be around. So you can't just have two number 10s who you can rely on. You've got to have more than that.
Yeah.
So even if you were to use him as a 10, there's a chance that Mbomo or Cunha, if we get Mbomo, aren't available all the time. But as a wing back, I think he can do a job. I'd have him at wing back, me personally. Okay.
Are you saying the same, Adam? Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll see. We'll give it a go. So let's stick him as wing back then. This is the midfield then. Let's move into the centre, because this is where it gets a bit more tricky for me. I think Bruno Fernandes has to start. One way or another for Man United. Is our best player. I would start him there.
I think that it could be, depending on what happens with our striker situation, he could be the false 9, you know.
Bruno.
Oh.
Interesting.
Depending what we do, because there's no obvious signing, is there?
Absolutely cheeky.
And then, because in my opinion, Kobbie Mainoo's got to be starting more often than not.
Okay.
Right.
And where's he starting?
Whether that's in the 10 position as a rotation option or in that middle of the park with a Casemiro or a Ugarte.
Okay.
And that's where I think you could then see Bruno used in that front three.
I think, and we've got a really good article from Carl Anker where he went through and looked at some midfield options. We'll have a look through that as we go through this. I think whether it is Bruno, whether it is Casemiro, whether it is Ugarte, whether it is Mainu, as one of those deeper midfielders, we need someone with legs and size next to him. Because one thing that none of those three have got, or certainly they've not got either of, or both of, should I say, is height and athleticism. Do you know what I mean? We lack that massively.
We need as well, and this is why I'm a bit annoyed at the Ugarte signing. We need someone that is a good foil for Maino if we're looking for the future.
Yeah.
And I don't think Manuel Ugarte is that.
Well, should we have a look at some of these options then? So Carl Anker wrote this article on The Athletic, and hopefully we'll get him in to chat about it. Carlos Baleba being one of them, plays for Brighton, 21 years old. I think they bought him a season or two ago, but just has a lot of the qualities you'd want. He describes him as an athletic ball winner, very good on the front foot, good defensively, not amazing on the ball. He's not someone that's going to sort of, pick apart a defence or unlock anything, but he's someone that can get the ball and uses his physicality a lot to push people away, to catch people up. He's kind of that.
I think Baleba looks better than Ugarte.
Yeah.
But he's of the same ilk, isn't he? Not great in possession.
No.
Very good out of possession. I think Baleba's better than Ugarte, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's that again, innit? He's not very good on the ball.
No, he's not great on the ball. But does he have a bit more in terms of athleticism and size than Ugarte does? He's not massive, Baleba, but he's probably a bit...
spirit.
A bit more in spirit. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, it makes sense. I get your point. I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I know it's not ideal, but I don't know, man. Maybe I've got the blinkers on. I just feel like Mainu has to start. I just feel like he does. I feel like he's got some quality there, and I would try and see if it can work with Mainu and Bruno.
Would you?
I would. I think if you're asking Bruno to adapt his game and do a little bit of a different role, because he can put a tackle in, he can cover a lot of ground, he can do those things. I think he's just taking up too much sort of responsibility in creating chances because no one else really can. Where if you're bringing in the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha, and maybe there's not as much pressure on Bruno, and you're saying to, look, you need you to sit a little bit deeper. We saw it, I'm not saying Bruno's as good as Paul Scholes, but we saw the way Paul Scholes changed his game as he got into his 30s. He literally went from an attacking midfielder to a quarterback. And I know there was times when that was questioned, and then obviously it smashed it. I just wouldn't mind seeing it being given a chance.
Do you know the problem that I think we have with that though is, who did Scholes have next to him? It was Keane and then Carrick.
Well, we
need one of them. If Mainu's going to be the Scholes or Bruno's going to be the Scholes, I think you need either someone that is like Roy Keane, who's just all action, legs forever, just great engine.
I also think,
or a Carrick who reads the game better than anyone
see when
you've ever seen.
Mainu burst onto the scene, he came in and he was just sat in front of the defence. That was him, and everyone loved him. He was man of the match. He got into the England side doing exactly the same job, sitting in front of the defence. And then it's like he's had a difficult season with injuries, and it's like everyone's just almost given up with him. And I just think he can do a job there, and I just think he's only 20. As well, how many 20-year-olds or 19, 18-year-olds when he obviously broke into the team get into United's midfield? I think there's a player there.
There's also
it's definitely
a way you can fit where I think, Mbeumo.
Yeah.
Again, it depends what happens with the striker signing in it. So if Højlund stays, you could then be in a world where you've got Mbeumo through the middle, Cunha and Bruno as your 10s, and Maino in the midfield, or Maino as one of the 10s, Bruno deeper. And Mbeumo,
there's a lot of versatility in there.
There's a lot of ability to change pace. And I think a lot of the good things about Cobby came in that final third from the left.
Yeah, I agree with that. You look at the goal in
all his great moments.
The cup final, the goal against Wolves, the goal against Liverpool. Scousers. Like, I understand your point, and I've argued about him being number 10. I just think if we're going to bring in two number 10s, he probably ain't going to get a chance, even with the likes of Garnacho leaving. A
few of the names on this list then that Anchor put together. We've got Lamine Camara from who's a Senegalese player, plays for Monaco. Don't know too much about him. Hayden Hackney.
He's always
very highly regarded, isn't he? 23 years old, plays for Middlesbrough in the Championship. So again, I think a lot of people will just kind of dismiss him out of hand. But he's more of a deep line playmaker style. Then there's a few others. Adam Wharton, obviously we know a lot more about him. You've been a big fan of him for years. He's much more in the Michael Carrick mould,
He's just
isn't
out
he?
of our price range, isn't he,
Yeah.
Wharton? I love Adam Wharton. I think you could have him and Mainu next to each other and it'd absolutely smash it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what England should be doing. But
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to get him.
He is that, like, I think he's
Getting
the
to the
closest thing
Champions
to
League
Michael
though,
Carrick
this
that we've
season
got.
and next season it could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the
absolutely.
finances are so big.
And also, he's only 21, so
Yeah.
you know you might be able to give him a bit more of the Declan Rice treatment, where he stayed at West Ham probably a couple of years longer than people thought he might, because you want to. If he's already going to be worth 75 million, Wharton, if we're going to spend 75 to 100 million, we need to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
So let him stay there till he's 23.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
No, I
then
hear
get him
that.
once we know that he's a proven package. There's loads of other people on that article, by the way. We'll put the link in the description if you want to go through and look at it. Are we saying again we're not buying anyone? I would like to see.
No, I think we need to buy someone,
Okay.
but he might not be a starter.
Okay. Well, who should we buy then? Is there anyone that you
don't know.
like? I like the idea of Belabor. I haven't seen.
I would like
tons
him. I
and
don't
tons
think
of him.
he leaves this summer.
No.
I don't think he leaves this summer.
There was a few people in the chat when me and Finn spoke about Aidan Hackney. I think a few Middlesbrough fans and people that
That
watched
would
the
be a
Championship.
nice one.
Who was saying he's good, but I don't know if you can put him into the Manchester United midfield
Yeah.
and expect him to be good enough for what you need.
Yeah.
Like, how old is he? 23.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing wrong. He's only very young, but maybe it's a bit of a step up to come
Yeah.
from the Championship at that age. And it's like, is there a reason he's not made the step up yet?
You got
Yeah.
your man at Atlanta, haven't you? What's his name?
Edison.
Edison.
He's been linked with a lot with
Again,
me for
though,
a long time as well.
I worry that he's a bit more of an all-rounder. I want someone that is.
Do you know what? I don't want anything to do with Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Fucking John Murtaugh's gone now. He's going to carry on ruining United. We'll end up
He's
paying
at Atlanta?
150 million
Yeah.
for him. Of course he is. He got fucking 73 million quid for him for Rasmus Højlund. So they give him a job.
I think maybe we should say allegedly.
Well,
We could
all
say,
right.
instead of
Well,
saying so they gave
he
no,
did give them.
But instead of
70
saying
million, he did get-
so they gave him a job, we could say and then they gave him a
I
job
thought, right, all right. And then they gave him a job. Make
Yeah.
of that what you will.
because he did it. He was a backhander and he was breaking
Honestly,
the law.
I just never ever
Allegedly.
want to deal with that man ever again.
So that's a no to Edison.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna stick my neck out and say get Belabor in.
All
That's
right,
who I
fair
want in
enough.
there. I want Bruno and Belabor.
I admit I've got a massive sort of emotional attachment to Kobe Maino, and
Yeah.
I get that it might not be ideal in this system, but if it was up to me, it'd be getting picked, but it ain't. So what's your vote?
I'm saying Bruno Belabor. What are you saying? Bruno
I'm saying
and
Bruno,
Kobe?
at least to start the season.
You're the deciding vote, Adam. What are you thinking?
The rest of the team is settled and working well. You could do Bruno and Kobe,
Go on,
but I think Casemiro will be starting the season.
Ooh.
So we're saying Bruno and Casemiro.
I think it could be. Whether that's ideal or not, I don't know.
midfielder.
I'm predicting what the
Get a
team's going to be.
transfer in.
Nah, this is our dream.
I want to transfer.
Go on, who do you want then? This is your dream scenario, so go on. Not dream, because obviously you probably have...
Dream scenario would be like getting at Adam Wharton.
Yeah. Let's say dream scenario on a Ineos budget.
But then if Kobe Maino was playing for fucking Brentford, we'd be like, sign him right
Of course
now.
we would. He'd be on that list.
Yeah, he would. We'd be looking at his stats and
Yeah.
data now.
I'm going Bruno and Kobe.
Yes. Go on, Maka.
I'm not sure about Ugarte, Remember when I went really early on him and then I was like,
Yeah.
I think I went too early on Ugarte. I think I was right when I went early.
No, I don't think you were. I think second
was
season
his
we're going to see a lot more
dog,
out of him.
It does worry me.
I think
stinks.
Bruno and
I do
Ugarte.
like a guy, but it does worry me the fact that he didn't
He
get...
didn't even start the fight.
That's what I mean. That's that.
But I think he'd had a little. I think Amorim had one.
Do you
of
reckon he
those little
spat his dummy
spats.
out? Well, the West Ham game.
Yeah, Amorim is a charismatic, seems to be relatively level-headed guy in front of the cameras. It's clear that he's quite an emotional person.
What about-
I think they had a little bit of a why the fuck did you stay on the floor when
Yeah.
you'd lost the ball and got up like you were fucking 95 years old and let them put the ball in the back of the net. I think I honestly think all it would have taken was for Ugarte to get up, sprint, and get a fucking tactical yellow card, and he would have started that final.
Fair enough.
He looked like he went. Oh,
It did feel
who
like that. It
cares?
did feel like
Yeah.
Timothy Fosu-Mensah against Everton in the Cup semi-final. Do you remember when Van Gaal fully fell out with him forever?
Yeah, I think that was what happened. I think Ugarte will be back next season.
All right, fair enough.
But we're going for Mainu and Bruno.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if Ugarte is it, man.
Not many transfers.
50 million
in this so
down the
far.
drain, Again,
No.
it is.
After one season where he's not even been bad.
This time next year, we'll be looking to sell Ugarte.
There you go.
But that's not necessarily the same
We'll
thing,
sell him
though, is it?
to
We'll sell him to...
Nacional,
Absolute
and we'll get
bollocks.
15 mil.
Rubbish. Negative. Right. Let's go to the number 10 positions then. This one feels pretty cut and dry to me.
And Bumo and
Cunha.
Yeah.
Rashford and Anthony.
Rashford, yeah. But Sancho was the 9.
We're going to make more transfers than this. I actually think we're being like under optimistic here, whatever that word is.
Pessimistic.
No, but I don't think it's. I don't think it is. I think
There's a word for it.
No, but no.
Fuck
I think say like underwhelmed, whelmed. I'm whelmed by this list.
So you're.
Right.
I'm not underwhelmed by it, but it's not overwhelming me with
mystic.
joy. I'm just mystic.
You've got a big juicy number 9 there to get your teeth into. Just go
we'll
big
get
with that
into
one.
that in a bit, but I just think, okay, all right, we're sticking with the team.
It could be, like I say, yeah. Don't be surprised if when Mbeumo's starting through the middle, and we've got a Bruno and Cunha either side of him.
Okay, so we're just going to
I
go
genuinely think that could. I'm changing my vote.
for what?
I'm going Casemiro, Maino
Oh, it's too late.
in the middle, and I'm going Cunha, Bruno, and Mbeumo up top.
Right,
So you're literally signing fucking no one else?
Do you know who we are?
Yeah,
We're Man
we
United.
signed loads of players. Look at Man United's transfer history for the last 25 years. We're not short on signings.
Bro, first game of the season, we're going to have Mbeumo done, and
Yeah.
maybe one more.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
but you're indicating that we're not going to even have anyone more. We're gonna
I
have-
think it'll be
We're sticking with
Cunha
Bruno and Mainu, by the way.
Bomo. But I think there'll be a 9. I think there'll be
Okay,
a
well
signing.
let's get
That's
our
where I'm going to go big.
dirty gnashers
Yeah.
sunk right into the meat
Yeah,
of a local 9.
right.
Who do we like up front? Let's say it is Cunha and Bumo. We can lock them in. They were quick
Xerxes.
ones.
I
I'm going to ask
What were
you to
you
leave.
gonna say? What
I'm
were you
going to ask you to leave.
Why? We said Dirks the other day. Well, I did.
Yeah, but it's not, is it?
Do you really want me to leave?
No, do a fuck.
Vote.
Stay. Don't let him tell you what to do.
Beg me to
Don't-
stay.
I
What's
have the phone,
next?
you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere now.
Um,
We're not having. You would just pick last season's team. If we didn't have Bumo links, you'd be saying we don't need a number 10.
I got a surprise for you. He's going to be the same fucking team.
not surprised if we're going to finish
Get
15th again.
Bumo and Cunha out. Put Garnacho and
First of all, we're not signing Victor fucking Gyökeres. I'm sick of this chat.
We
about
might
him.
be. How do
He's
you
not
know?
even a real person, man.
What are you talking about?
These goals aren't going to be real goals.
What?
Oh, he scored 54 goals. Watch him come to England and score 3.
That'd be about par for the course for United.
He's
to be
not. Just delete him off the list.
fair. No, we don't delete him off the
Leave
list
on
because
there.
I think we could end up
I
getting
command
him.
you to leave him on the
Joke,
list.
man.
We are going to buy a striker. No one wants him. The manager
about
knows him.
Adriano.
The manager knows him. There's a
Un-
good chance we get him.
Don't highlight him again. Like
Bring
you
back Vati Vegos. Add him to the list. Go on.
You want United to fail. That's what I'm
Who
saying.
do you want
United
then?
to
Who do you
fail?
want as your 9
Victor
then?
fucking
You've
Gyökeres.
kept all-
I've even
you've
said
kept all
Victor
your-
Gyökeres.
You've kept all your money for your 9. Right, that's
Well,
safe.
yeah, what are you
That's
spending
there
all
for
your
you.
fucking money
Come and have a
on?
look what you could have won. Right, so who are you having as your 9?
There's a fella that played at AEK Athens last season, right?
Oh, shut up.
Anthony Martial. Hey,
Why are you being mean to me?
I love that. Why are you picking on me?
I know.
Right, so
thought we were
right,
dreaming.
Right, so you're
You're
going
dreaming.
You're
You've
going
dreamt
Martial.
this team from last season.
Martial's better than Gyökeres. I'll tell you that for free.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Martial pulled his hamstring watching
Martial's
an interview.
20 times better than Gyökeres.
Do you remember that? Literally,
ridiculous.
Martial pulled his hamstring watching a speech.
Don't be.
It was so
don't
moving.
be mean.
It happened.
Listen, all I'll say is Anthony
a
Martial
father.
was nice and you know.
He's a father.
He was,
Shut up.
he was friendly
feeling.
to us in a lift. Yeah.
He was.
So that's.
I loved him way before that.
Yeah.
He scored one of the greatest goals I've ever seen at Old Trafford.
Maka never got over that goal against Watford.
I was
The
stood on my
little, the little
chair.
drag back scoop and chip.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was a very good goal. to
Fair
be
play to him. He had some good moments.
Can we get back to reality though? We're not signing
Yes.
Anthony Martial.
Yeah, I would
Right,
absolutely
let's
love
just,
to get back to reality, yeah.
Let's just put that to one side.
No doubt.
You can argue all you want about.
You know how
Victor
everyone
Gyökeres,
as
but
well.
we're not.
Oh, Rasmus Højlund, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Anthony Martial is 20 times the player that Dodd is.
But he's
And
certainly
everyone got on his
a chance,
back.
yeah.
But now with this geezer stinking the joint out in the number 9 shirt, fucking shoulder barging everyone for no reason and falling over. Oh yeah, bring him back. We'll have another year of that shit.
Not to make it too much of an
Fucking
argument all the
stick
time.
of it.
How many years did Martial get at Man United?
He was class.
Yeah, but he was here for fucking 7 and 8 years. He certainly
Anyway.
got his chance.
I'll tell you who.
See that's what I'm missing. You know, at United.
What, 8 years of Martial?
I'm missing that passion towards these players. He loves Martial, right?
Yeah.
And I miss that. I love Cobby a little bit like that, and Ahmad. But I think he does love Xerxes. Like, there's a little bit I'm missing from this team. I want to get back to that fucking I love these lads.
Xerxes the man, y'all. Just letting y'all know.
Are you saying we should put him up front?
Well, me and Joe did a video on this the other day when I said it.
Could it happen?
But I said it.
I also don't think it will.
If the options Xerxes or Gyökeres,
Xerxes.
If the options Ekitike or Xerxes, I'd take Osimhen. If the options Mateta or Xerxes.
You're not serious.
If the
Do you know what I think?
I don't believe
Do you know
you.
what I think?
options David Moyes.
No, do you know what I think?
Or
I
What
think,
about Roy
I think,
Moyes
I
Keane?
think we're going to end up with Ollie Watkins up front. I was saying it was going to be a last minute dash for Gyökeres. I think it actually might be Ollie Watkins. I think there's something in that. He's fully fell out with Emery.
Yeah.
He's fuming.
he's worth 45 million.
And I think United will go, look, we can't keep buying young strikers hoping they're going to come good. Let's just stick someone in for a couple of years until Cheeto's ready. Ollie Watkins, let's get him in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm that keen on it, but I think that's what's going to happen.
And that
Victor Osimhen is right
Yeah,
there.
but it's also 350k a week and United won't pay it because we're paupers.
But there's I wonder if with Osimhen there's a chance that, I know he's in nothing like the situation that Sancho is, but there are certain similarities of his parent club. It seems like it just cannot work with him and Napoli. And I wonder if they will get to a point where his options go from being Galatasaray, who actually, if you're signing a 5-year deal, probably can't pay you what you got paid last season because it becomes different. He doesn't want to play in Saudi. The options are narrowing in a bit. Does Man United at 280 grand a week actually all of a sudden sound more likely?
Let's do that then.
Is that possible?
Let's go Osimhen, yeah.
Do you think Osimhen?
I think
I don't even know.
We got Osimhen. Yeah.
Osimhen and Bumo and Cunha.
It's outrageous.
That's a title-winning fucking attack.
Yeah.
It really is. Then you don't have to worry about who your midfield is.
Osimhen's the perfect
Or your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Osimhen's the perfect striker for this.
Do you know how much he'd be loved at Old Trafford? Do you know how much you'd adore him?
Yeah.
You'd be like Anthony you when we mentioned Martial.
Osimhen is...
You'd be like Joshua.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You would. Xerxes, never heard of him, mate.
Get back, you bastard.
You'd be absolutely adoring,
Break your legs.
pure, unadulterated Victor Osimhen, not Gyökeres.
To the
'Cause you don't
victor
like
go the spoils.
You've been
and
saying
we will
that
be
far too
spoiling our
often.
knickers when we're watching this guy play up front.
Yeah, that's a really
Frontsies
good.
and backsies.
Oh yeah, love all that. So we're going Osimhen, yeah?
Wait, we spoke about the rest. Let's have a look at a couple more because I think Osimhen's the most
Right,
exciting.
but you've just admitted that we're getting Osimhen.
Admitted, as though I was withholding the information.
You've just admitted
Well,
it.
Mateta. He
Right,
seems like
we're
he
not
wants to
getting
say it once.
Mateta. Yeah.
I ain't signing someone who don't untuck his shirt either. Fucking grow up. Not in the army, you cretin.
Love that.
Move on.
Moist Keane.
Let's not kick off. Let's
was a
not
conversation
be
before
horrible
the
to the
podcast.
board to the ladder.
Moist Keane.
Yes, is this 2021?
Love that.
Fucking hell.
Isn't it? It always worries
I'd
me.
rather Moist Keane than fucking your man. 12 bottles of bleach, please, fella.
What about
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, yeah.
But it's going to be nice doing this.
I don't
when
think.
it's-
I think Moise Keane will have PTSD at being back at Old Trafford.
It worries me when I see players like Moise Keane, who I know was really poor in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And then they go to another league and they're just like really good numbers, like top 3 or 4.
Yeah, don't
in terms
come
of
back.
top scorers.
Yeah.
Don't risk
No,
coming back.
I agree.
Like Adam Lookman.
That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking
Stay over
about.
there where
Yeah.
you're loved, you're
Yeah.
scoring goals, because you can come back. All it takes is a bad month and you go, it's happening again.
No.
And you just get 3 goals in 25. I think Moise Keane is perfect. Stay in a league where you know that you're
I'd take
a top player.
Gonçalo Ramos as well.
No. Oh, he's good
Fuck
at
that.
penalties. Fuck off.
No, I'm not up for Gonçalo Ramos.
You don't even take the penalties for us if he comes here because Bruno does and he's mint.
Yeah. Ekitike, he's an interesting one.
I like
No,
different.
like-
He looks good.
Yeah.
He's better than Gyökeres.
He's just the hipster.
Everyone's better than Gyökeres.
He is. It's Ekitike, right? How much is it? Oh, 85 million. Oh, we're not getting Adam Wharton for 75, but we're going to spend 85 million on someone who's probably okay. We're not. Right? So just put Victor Osimhen in.
I don't know where.
Don't get Gyökeres, man.
I don't know where Frankfurt get off. I'm not even joking. Still charging players like we don't remember what happened with Nikola Jovic. Fucking like they've
I
sold
saw the
a
thing
few
with
players.
Ekitike, and
You
it's
go,
like,
"They
they're
were
like
shit."
you can pay it like on Klarna. They're like you can actually space that over 10 years.
Over 2 dozen
So it does
years.
feel like Brexit Jim will be like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. But no, I don't think we're going to get Ekitike.
I'm gonna.
I don't think it's remotely realistic.
Frankfurt's top sales.
What are you doing?
Because I think that they've had Europe over the last few years. They see it as a sort of breeding ground.
Didn't they win? Oh, sorry, I get
Right. Sorry, not Nikola Jovic, I apologise. Luka Jovic, of course.
Right. Went to Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, 63 million.
Well, that's not that. He was terrible, but that like 63 million for a player is not like.
Yeah,
what,
but he's utter garbage, Jay.
Who's that?
Luka Jovic. I don't want to say Nikola.
Luka Jovic.
Because I'm saying
Nikola Jokic.
I'm thinking of Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Luka Jovic, Newcastle.
What your brain stopped working? Nikola Jovic, Newcastle. None of that is right.
Sometimes, right?
None of it is right.
Sometimes the human brain will just say the word Newcastle. We all know this. It's a fact about life. No matter what language you speak, sometimes you'll just say the word Newcastle. You didn't mean to.
So you meant Luka Jovic, Real Madrid?
Yes, 63 million. Okay.
Remember Zoran Tosic?
Yeah, exactly.
And Adam Jalic.
Sebastian Aller, 50 million euros to West Ham. Right? Omar Mamouche, too early to say, but looks pretty decent.
He looks decent.
And then at the top of the list, Randall Kolo Muani, 95 million euros to PSG. Stinker.
I think he.
How are they getting all this money for players?
You know what the worst transfer is ever, though? Mikhailo Mudryk.
Yeah, it might be.
He wasn't a real person.
No.
That was a way to raise funds for Ukraine.
I think that might be my favourite ever comment on this channel.
That's one of the wildest things anyone's ever said.
To raise funds
I'm convinced.
It was a massive conspiracy between
they needed the funds at the time.
And Todd Burley.
Like,
And then look.
No, you know what?
Roman Abramovich. Look.
No.
Roman Abramovich done some naughty stuff.
Yeah.
His apology was 100 million from the player.
No, but he didn't even buy him.
Todd Burley. All that happened was
Todd Burley had to do it.
Arsenal wanted him, and Chelsea did what we used to do when City wanted someone. What you want, Alexis Sanchez? Well, we'll give you double.
Yeah.
Like they just went for him quickly and got the deal done, and he was shite.
So we all want Osimhen, do we?
Yeah. If we're not going to make any other signings in this fucking team other than who we got in it, and Bumo, it looks like it's going to happen anyway. Like, we need to put someone in.
You know, it's going to be funny when Bumo falls through.
Well, when Bumo falls through and we end up with fucking the same team as last season, literally.
At least a Simpsons that. That's going to be us, isn't it? When we don't even get him.
If Bumo falls through and Cunha gets suspended,
and then you hear
first game.
Yeah, Rashford and Amorim hold negotiation talks.
Can you imagine the meltdown on social media?
I'd love Rashford to stay.
We've got Sancho and Rashford starting.
Come on, Mark.
I want to see Ruben Amorim in a press conference going, it's like signing a new player.
Yeah.
Like, what?
No value in the market.
Yeah.
Oh God, there is. Just fucking buy someone. So let's go Osimhen then.
There isn't value in the market though.
Why isn't there?
Gyökeres for what? Hundreds of millions of pounds.
No, not hundreds of millions.
Have you seen his goals?
Substantially under 100 million euros.
I think
put Gyökeres' goals on from last season. No, we're gonna fucking do this right now. Watch. Gyökeres' goals. Go on. Last season's goals. Watch this shit.
What do you mean watch this shit? What am I expecting to see?
You're gonna fucking watch this shit.
10 Pinar Pere. The hell's that?
Gyökeres' goals. There we go.
Last season.
There you go. That'll do.
Go on, that'll do. Donkey.
All 50 goals and assists from the 24-25 season so far.
Right, you've gone from thinking it's a bit of a hunch. I don't know if he's good enough to he's fucking
Let's have a look at this then.
I know he's got that.
Skip, get back.
Get back, you bastard.
Where are you going? We don't need to watch every single one.
We need to watch some of them.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
We're watching now. Look, penalty.
Oh, penalty. That'll tell us a lot.
Oh, he's got a penalty.
It still counts.
Shit.
Look at that bottom corner. Drill piece.
Bangs a penalty in. Shit.
All right,
let's just watch it for a minute. Look at this here. Look at that. Have a bit of that.
Cuts back.
Squares
it.
Mate,
lovely assist.
What is that defending there?
He's playing for Sweden. And it's Alexander Isaac. Ever heard of him?
Put his goals for Lisbon, man. This is shit.
Yeah, because it makes you look bad.
No, it doesn't.
Great ball.
Look at that. What a pass.
Can't miss with that.
Literally on a plate.
Mate, who are they playing here? Fucking the Faroe Islands.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it?
Here we go.
Penalty, shock horror.
Well, he's made 2 goals
penalty
for his team. He's scored a penalty.
And he's not even going to take penalties for us, like you said earlier.
Take penalties for us, you're right. That's Bruno Fernandes. Let's not be silly about it.
Fucking 12 bottles of bleach, please.
Some of the greatest Googling of all time so far.
The Jokeres is a beach, man.
There you go, that bottom one there. All 39 goals, 24,
Yeah, watch
25.
this shit now. Watch
Right.
this shit.
Right, look at that.
Look at the state of this,
Movement
by
there,
the way.
vision.
What the fuck was that keeper?
composure.
Yeah, but the keeper made a mistake. What do you want him to
What
do?
is that?
What do you want him to do? Not capitalise on it.
Look at this. Penalty. Oh, my God.
Penalty,
About 3
fine.
people in the stadium, by the way.
So?
Actually,
May as well play
like-
for Stretford.
May as
Paddock.
well be at the Etihad.
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Can't even get control
Oh,
of it. It's behind
movement.
him.
Oh,
Roof
finish.
in there, man. He's class.
Have a bit of that.
Look, he's gone right through
Unbelievable.
the
They
keeper's
could have
head.
had 3 goals.
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Thank
What
you.
is this?
Touch, finish.
What is going on?
Watch this.
Just because the ball's bobbling around a lot.
Onto his right foot.
Look at that.
Bottom corner.
What is
Ish.
penalty? Oh no, another penalty against Ferenc.
Do you, want
Who
him
the
to,
fuck are
do you want
they?
him to miss the penalties? Would you prefer he missed them?
Look at this, look at the state
Watch
of
this,
this.
right?
Look at
Look at the
this.
state of this.
Squares up his...
How the fuck does he do this in the Premier League?
To be fair, that was...
The defender's got nowhere near
Pause
him.
it there, pause it there, pause it there.
Nowhere near him.
I don't think anyone's covering themselves in glory.
We've seen
in that.
10 goals, all of them shouldn't have happened.
That was a terrible... That was a shit goal. The defender there was a...
You can only beat what's in front of you. Like, he scored 52 goals. Fucking hell. All right, he's playing against shite, but he's scoring loads of goals against them.
Yeah, that's true.
What else is he meant to do? I'm not going to score this goal because these defenders are all crap.
If you put
I'm
Thierry
not going
Henry
to score
in
against
that
the
league,
Faroe Islands
or if
because
you
they're
put
rubbish.
Wayne Rooney in that league.
Wayne Rooney get 250 goals in that league. Now.
250 goals in a day.
Did you see him in soccer?
250 goals in a day.
215 goals in a day.
Yeah.
But that's what that's Jay's point there, and it's a good point.
What?
You put any player in the world in there, they're not going to get
that's not a good
300
point.
goals.
It's not a great point.
world-class
It's a
striker.
really
If you
bad
put
point.
like, who's
The only way
world-class
you're going to
striker?
find out
Harry
if he's
Kane
any,
gets 108 goals.
there's the only way you're going to find out if he's any good is to put him in a better league. That's the only way you'll.
Like one of them old school, like remember, like Gary Lineker, young 14-year-old Gary Lineker scored 500 goals in
Yeah.
60 games for his
Yeah.
Leicester Tigers or whatever.
Leicester
Like, just one of
Tigers.
those absolute freak kids scoring 25 goals a
Yeah.
game.
Trust me, guys and girls at home watching this show.
Right. Well, let's
Go and watch all of Jokeres' goals for Sporting Lisbon last season. And 10 goals in, you go, let's put our money away.
I tell you who people said that for though, genuinely. Erling Haaland at Dortmund. There was a lot of that with Haaland, where it was like, you won't get that space in England. You don't get high lines like that in England. You won't be able to do that in
There
England.
was a lot of that talk, to be fair.
And obviously, not everyone is the same. So it's not like, well, because this, then that. But I do think that you can't just say...
Jokeres so good. Why didn't anyone twig it when he was in fucking England?
Well, Coventry sold him for a lot of money. Sporting Lisbon twigged it. But that's a flawed argument. Come on.
If it's so good, why didn't fucking Barcelona come in for him after he did quite well at Coventry?
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't they?
He was shit
So
at Brighton,
fucking
to be
good.
fair.
Inter Milan wanted Robbie Keane from Coventry.
Speaking of, by the way, so
He loved his transfer.
Inter Milan wanted Robbie Keane from Coventry.
Did
by
they
the
get
way.
him?
Yeah.
Perfect. Should we put
Or did
Victor
they buy him
Osimhen
from
in there?
Wolves?
I don't know. You're on your own with that one.
I don't know.
know.
Talking about. Let's put Victor Osimhen up front. Let's treat ourselves.
Yeah, I think we should,
There we go.
considering we've saved loads of money
And
by
let's
picking
delete
the same.
Jokeres off that list.
No, it's just a list. It's a reference point. It doesn't
No,
need
don't delete him. Leave him on.
Delete.
Leave him on.
Delete.
Have you googled Jan Oblak yet?
Fuck it.
He was 33 by the time you fucking found out. Right. Here's the team. Here's Man United's team. We'll write Osimhen in at a later date. We've got Onana.
my
So this
God.
is our dream 11 for next season. We haven't
Right.
dreamed that big.
Sort
but
of.
there we
Yeah,
go.
it's yeah.
I like this though. We've got Onana in goal. Back three: Yoro, Delict, and Martinez.
Controversial.
Ahmad and Dorgu as our wing backs. Bruno and Mainu, which I think is the most controversial. Get your thoughts in on
Okay.
that in the comments,
Okay.
people. As our holding players. Then we've got Cunha and Bumo and Osimhen as the kind
Also,
of
it's going to be
front
Casemiro,
trilogy.
Ameno, and Bruno up top.
That's another option as well.
That's what's going to happen.
Get your thoughts in the comments below.
And Buemo will be our striker next
You
season.
call yourself a Joshua Xerxes fan. Terrible.
It's going to happen.
Terrible.
Eventually, though, people will realise.
There's only one
Xerxes the
person
man.
on this channel who's made the case that it should be Xerxes starting up front alongside Mbumo and Cunha. And that's
Yeah.
me.
Just
Xerxes is better than Jokeres, let me just tell you.
just to round this portion off,
Oh, aye.
where does that team finish?
First.
Yeah.
First. What are you saying?
That team, right? The only reason we're not
They
going to
are
the league
thirsty for
is because
first.
that team, right? Martinez ain't going to come back till March. The Litz will probably be injured for at least 20 games, and then we'll end up with a merry-go-round going on in defence. And then I don't know.
Dilip just got a divorce. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for
That's
us?
good. He can focus on his football. It's good.
No, he's not. He's going to be
Absolutely
say
Pep
that.
Guardiola in it.
Yeah, I was gonna. No, he's gonna be fucked.
Why?
Because I feel like, what if he's going on dates all the time?
So he's missing the match because he's on a date? He's a professional.
He might not. He might not train as well.
He's an absolute...
Nah, but you know...
If he's been drained like a froob not 3 hours before, he's not going to be at his best.
No. He'll be focused. He'll be all right.
At the same time, like, he was with his ex-wife for a while, right?
Well, how do you even know he's got divorced?
So eventually you stop trying to impress them.
That's what I'm saying.
But
And
now when he's got new girls in the stadium there...
He'll be in the gym all the time. And he'll be impressing them when they're watching the match.
God bless.
He'll be
I mean?
trying to impress.
So we're finishing first. Something else to bring up with you, Adam. Your mates at the club have been in a bit of hot water this week. Have you seen this?
No. Is this the Aguero Eric thing?
No, this is the Musa Dembele thing.
Oh, mate, it's fucking stupid, I know.
Go on.
I wasn't there to
No,
bring
exactly.
sense.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. So they did a combined all-time Tottenham and Arsenal 11.
Right.
And it was
Flav, Miles and Raw.
Flav, Miles and Rory, yeah.
Yeah.
And all three of them
Yeah.
had Musa Dembele in the middle.
Rory was adjudicating. So he was just
said it.
kind of...
Can I just say something though?
Go on.
Rightly so.
No, absolute bollocks.
That is the one that got away. That is the one that got
The
away.
full one was...
I agree with that.
The full midfield was, by the way, Dembele,
Yeah.
Modric, Vieira.
Fucking disgusting.
Where's Fabregas?
Fabregas is twice the player that Dembele is. Dembele is a very good player.
Gilberto's probably better than Dembele. No.
Yeah. Dembele is a good player.
Broke my heart. Musa Dembele tore us apart at Fulham.
Yeah.
We sold Berbatov to him and
Remember
we didn't get
Pogba
Dembele.
absolutely waits in the prick.
But he's a good player. But to go from the fact of him being this underrated guy that a lot of his former teammates thought he was really good, to putting him in ahead of Cesc Fabregas is a disgrace. Would you? What would you have said if you were there? I know they did it because they had.
I'd have said
Arsenal
you're all
at the time.
fucking stupid, and it's Vieira, Fabregas, Modric, or something like that.
Yeah.
But even then, Modric for his Premier League career.
No, he's still better than Dembele though.
Oh yeah. But for me, Fabregas has to be in any.
Yeah, Fabregas is unbelievable.
He's my favourite non-Man United midfielder.
When he was at Arsenal as a child,
Arsenal fan save
he was
it?
better than that.
Fucking Fabregas was fucking shite.
Arsenal fans hate
like
him.
him.
Petit was better.
Not better than Fabregas, you fucking.
Yeah, he was. How many doubles did Fabregas win at Arsenal? None. How many did Petit win? One.
Slightly more. Right, that's going to do us.
Fabregas might have won the double at Arsenal. I don't even know.
That's going to do us. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Adam. As always, thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Joe. As always.
Thank you very much.
That's the most underwhelming Dream 11 by the way.
Yeah, I know. And I tried to dream.
An honour is in no one's Dream 11 here.
I tried to dream. Was in ours.
It's not.
All right. Who else is then?
Heaton.
Tom Heat one.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
See you in a bit.